Hi, it's Suzanne Stoddart here from Legitimate Affiliate Training, and today I want to do a review of the eBookMaker by Akshat Gupta and Jaydeep Bishnoi. This is an ebook and article creator that launched July 15th, 2022. I'd like to take you inside the app to show you how it works, and then share the pros and cons before giving you my recommendation. So stay with me because there's some very important information that I need to tell you before you even consider buying the software, okay? And if you haven't even started your online business yet, then click my link below for some free training that'll help you get started right away. So let's take a quick look at the sales page. Here, they say that you'll get access to the world's first cloud-based one-click ebook and article creator. Okay, well, that's probably a little hypey. Along with over 1 million pre-made ebooks and articles with PLR license. He goes on to say that this is user-friendly, that they have a lot of templates, which is nice. And down here, he comments about a $200 refund if it doesn't work for you. Now, I would take this with a grain of salt because he doesn't specify what he means when it says doesn't work for you. Does that mean if you can't make any money selling your books? Or if the software isn't working? And as you scroll down, he gives you a lot of information about what ebooks can do for you, what niches they're good in. He introduces the eBookMaker to you, and there is a demo video here. This is the same video you see inside the software as your training video. And then he goes on to show you some samples created by the eBookMaker. So let's go inside to see how this works. This is inside the app, and this is your dashboard. Now, this is a review copy I got from the vendor, but the first thing you would want to do is click on tutorials, and this is where you'll be taken. And this is the demo video that was on the sales page that I showed you, and there's a few more videos here to help you along. He shows you how to register your account. He walks you through the dashboard. He shows you how to create an ebook and how to create an article. So back on the dashboard, what you would do is click on Create eBooks. And there are a few here that other affiliates have tried. I made a couple here to show you the process without taking up your time doing it in front of you. But what you would do is click on Add Book. Enter the name of your ebook, and this is just for your own purposes. So we'll put demo, and you're brought to this page where you can then upload the cover image that you want for your ebook, and you can start adding chapters. So you would give your chapter a name, and I'll just call it Chapter 1. Click Save, and you can do this as many times as you want to add as many chapters as you want, and these would typically be the subheadings of your articles. And then from there, you would click on Edit, and this little editor pops up where you could copy paste your text in here or just write from scratch. But let me show you the ones that I have made. When I first created an ebook in here, and I'll click on Edit to show you, I used a PLR article that I have the rights to use, and it looked like this. So you can see that there is a lot of text in here. So what I did, let me get this out of the way, is I used the first subheading as a title to my chapter. I clicked on Edit, and what I did is I simply copied up to this point. Okay, so you click Copy, and then I pasted it in here. And just to see what it would look like, I left it exactly as it showed up. And I did the same for 2 more chapters. And then I uploaded an image that I got on Canva. Now, Canva is an online image editor, and it's free to use. You can create a free account, and it is a very powerful tool. And they have templates. You can create your own images. You can upload images. So I found an image that I liked. I downloaded it from Canva, uploaded it into this software to create my first ebook. And then when you click on Export, you can see what it looks like. So this was the first one I made. It has the image that I put on. And you'd want to play around with this a little bit. I used typical 8.5 by 11 size image, but it could have been a little bit longer. And then this is what it looked like by just copy pasting directly from my PLR. The title of your chapter is fairly large, and the font was too small in my opinion, and the gaps were too big. So I knew that the next time I made this same ebook, I would have to play around with the font, adjust the spacing, and be careful about where you want your chapters to land, because as you can see, the title on this one, because it's so large and it was at the bottom of this page, the remainder of the title started on the next page. So the format wasn't very nice here. So I went back and created this one after playing with it for a bit. And let me show you this. Now what I did here is I uploaded the image that I've got included with my PLR. And then I created 4 chapters. I went in and then I deleted the extra spacing and I increased this to a font size 20 to see what it would look like. And if you add in this particular action here, this is an insert page break for printing. So that means that this information would be on one page. The next chapter would show up on a whole new page. And then as I went on for each chapter, I wanted to make it look a little bit better by adding an image. So again, I went to Canva. I found some images that I liked. I made this font a little bit bigger again, size 22, added the page break. Now I had difficulty adding this image at first because when you click here on Add Image, you can see that it wants a URL. So you can't just drag and drop from your computer. So I added some images to my Dropbox, which look like this. I added 3 images. I got the URL because it is a Dropbox that you can share images with, but it just wasn't working for me. So then I took this image and I uploaded it to my website, to the media section, got the URL, and then it worked. So I'm not sure if that's a little glitch in the software. If you don't have your own website and you need to use things like Dropboxes, you may have to contact support to find out why it wasn't working. And now I did that for each chapter, increasing the font each time until I found one that I thought would be good. And then you can go back and adjust all the font to the size that you want. So this is what the ebook looks that I made the second time around. This was the first chapter. And as you can see with the page break, the second chapter started on the second page. And then I added an image for interest, okay? Because nobody wants to just see text. It's just boring. So you want to make it a little nicer as you add relevant pictures. Now this was a size 22 font. This was a size 23 font. And the last one I did 24. So depending on how much text you have and what you want it to look like, you need to play with all those different features to come up with something that looks good. So that's how you make your ebooks. Now, do you remember on the sales page when they showed some samples created by this eBookMaker? I mean, these look absolutely fantastic, but there's no way you can come up with an ebook that looks like this from this software. So that was pretty disappointing. Now, the other things in here are the ebook templates. These are all of the ebooks that he says you have access to use for yourself and that you have a PLR license to. So this is what that particular ebook looks like. So if we download it and go back to the software to create an ebook, you would have to open up this file, create all of your chapters here, like what's in the ebook, copy paste the information, and when you're editing, there is a link where you can add your own affiliate link where applicable, and that's how you would create your ebook. Now, the one thing I did find with all of these ebooks in here, and there are a lot, okay? He wasn't kidding about that. But the only problem is when you open it up, I don't see a PLR license. Now, maybe this is something he will send you separately in an email, And if you don't get the license, I would certainly inquire about that because it's very risky to copy a PLR like this in order to sell or to give away without having the license on hand, because the creator of this particular PLR, which means private label rights, by the way, they are going to want you to prove that you have the license to sell it. And if you don't have that license on hand, you could get into trouble. The other section down here are your create articles. Now, I was a little frustrated with this too, because when you think of an article, you want something that's at a minimum 1,000 words long, right? Because Google is not going to rank anything much shorter than that these days. So what I did, and again to save time here, is in this description, I put in some information about the program that I promote, and I had typed it in here. I then put in some keywords that were applicable to that topic, and this is the full article I got in the end. Let's try this again to see if I get something different. And this is what it generated this time. If you compare it to what I got the first time, it is a little bit different. And at least this one is a little more relevant to the information I put in. As you can see, the first time, it gave me information about email marketing, which really had nothing to do with the information I put in here. But nonetheless, even though this is a little more relevant to the information I put in, it's very tiny. It's more like copy that you would put on a sales page or in an ad, that type of thing. This is not an article. Now, this does seem to be AI generated, simply because when you look at the first one I got and the second one, they're very different. And when I checked it in a plagiarism checker, it was unique. But if you are looking to create articles for a blog post, my goodness, you are going to have to add another 1,000 words at least. Okay. So again, that was a little disappointing. And then there's the pre-made articles. And he is sharing with you a lot of articles in here. Okay. Again, there are hundreds and hundreds of different articles in different niches. So what I did is I clicked on batch number 1, and you'll see that this has even more articles inside it. Okay. So we'll pick a random article, and you're going to have to go through them to see what's in each file, because this one is about sinus infections, and there was no indication in this batch of what that article was. So it's going to take you hours to figure out which ones are applicable to your niche. So what I did was copy the entire article. And again, this is not nearly long enough to post as a blog post. Okay, so you're going to want to combine a few or expand on it yourself. But I went to a plagiarism checker online called Small SEO Tools. Now, it's a bit of a spammy looking site, but what I like about it is the results that it gives you. So here you would paste in what you just copied in that article. You come down here and click I'm not a robot, and then check plagiarism. Now, this doesn't take too long to do, and of course, it's a very short article. Okay, this is what I was worried about. Notice that this article is 100% plagiarized, and like I said, this is what I liked about this tool, is it shows you what sections are plagiarized and it'll take you to that source. But regardless of this aspect, the fact that it's 100% plagiarized means you should not use these as it comes up here, okay? Because if you use this as a blog post or anywhere online, you are breaking copyright law, and again, you could get into a lot of trouble. So any of the articles that you find in here that you want to use should be rewritten in your own words and certainly expanded upon, because they're not nearly long enough. Now, when I say expanded, I don't mean by finding 3 or 4 articles in the same niche and combining them to make one article, because if each article is 100% plagiarized, just because you put 2, 3, or 4 together doesn't mean you're still not breaking copyright law. So this is one of the important things that I wanted to point out. They also have a cover creator, which is just a basic little image editor that I've seen in a lot of software like this. So you would just upload an image from your computer. In this case, we'll just use one of their samples. And then you have all of these different things up here that you can do to add to it. But again, it is very simple. And as I said before, going to a site like Canva and creating a free account, this is so powerful. You can do so many things in this tool, and you have all of these options to create whatever it is that you want to create. The last thing is the tutorials that I showed you before, and then how to reach support. So let's take a quick look at the upsells. The front end product is $17. OTO number 1 is the unlimited version and a reseller license for $37. OTO number 2 is eBookMaker Diamond for $47. OTO number 3 is the agency license for $47. OTO number 4 is the Done For You edition for $67. OTO number 5 is the white label edition for $97. And OTO number 6 is a stock edition for $27. So as you can see, you could spend a lot more money for this ebook maker if you're not careful. So make sure it's something that you like before you go through this funnel, because these sales pages will be very convincing. So what are the pros and cons of this software? Well, the pros are that the software does work. Okay, I showed you how to create an ebook, and it does create simple ebooks. Another pro is that you get access to many PLR ebooks that you can use for your own business, as long as you get the license to use them, okay? The cons are that it only creates simple ebooks, okay? It's nothing like what you saw on the sales page. Another con is that I didn't find that PLR license inside. Maybe he'll send it to you in an email, but please, I recommend you do not use any of those ebooks for your own use unless you have that license. And a third con would be the plagiarized articles. That was really disappointing, because I know how tempted it is to use what's there and not spend time rewriting. But keep in mind, if you do use it as is, and I had tested other ones as well, just so you know, they were all 100% plagiarized. So my recommendation is that if you want a simple ebook creator, then fine, go ahead and get the front end and test it out. But there are many other alternatives online that do a much better job. The one that I use primarily is called Designer, and it does a fantastic job of creating beautiful ebooks. So thanks so much for watching my video today. If you enjoyed it, would you please subscribe to my channel? And if you need help getting a business started, or just getting one that's stuck and not moving forward, then click my link below for some amazing training that will get you on the right track. If you have any questions or comments about the ebook maker, just leave them below and I'll get right back to you. So until next time, keep doing your research. Cheers.